Hello, it's Lady Boulay, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for your thumbs up, for your comments, and thank you for sharing the videos. Thank you for all you do to support the channel. And yes, we are commanded to love one another, whether we want to or not, or whether we agree with each other or not. Well, depending on who you ask, summer is here or almost here. Summer began on June 1st for many. Officially, it's June 21st. At any rate, summer is here or it's right around the corner. And in America, we like to acknowledge the season because summer is supposed to be a time of relaxation and fun and going on vacation and just doing summertime things. So this summer, the White Nationalists have taken the theme White Boy Summer that began with Tom Hanks' son, Chet Hanks, who meant it as sort of a parody on white boys, but they have taken it and run with it and made it into a real white boy thing and made Donald Trump the face of it. So let's take a look.
From evil.
So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had to do it.
So this is Chet Hanks. This is Tom Hanks, the actor's son. This guy is just all wrapped up in Black American culture, including a black baby mama. I would characterize him as a spoiled brat who's looking for himself, but who is attracted to the opposite of who he is. So anyway, he came up with this White Boy Summer, and they showed pictures of all these corny things that white guys do. But some of them are using it as a means of trying to push a white supremacist agenda. Somebody posted this by Jared Taylor, who is a known white nationalist, one of these people that keeps talking about a civil war, and they're talking about a war against black people and other minorities, but mainly black people. So this is what they're showing from Jared Taylor. I don't know how old it is. So listen to Jared Taylor.
I don't really pay that much attention to American politics because even the Republicans, if the Republicans are in power, they're not going to stop the dispossession of whites. They may slow it down, but there is not a single Republican in elected office anywhere in the United States at any level that I know of who is prepared to say, well, hold on. This country was established for white people. It was established with the idea that this is going to be an outpost of Western civilization. And if it ceases to be majority white, if it ceases to be an outpost for Western civilization and is simply up for grabs for whoever can manage to break into the country, then it's not the United States anymore, and we really have to start over. No one is prepared to say that. No one in elective office in the United States today is even prepared to say, well, hold on. The reason blacks and Hispanics don't do as well in the United States as white people is because on average, they have lower IQs. This is obvious, and this is crucially important. Instead, the Democrats say, the reason blacks and Hispanics don't do as well is because of systemic racism, because of unconscious racism, institutional racism, all kinds of racism. And it's white people's fault. The Republicans don't dare say anything. They're simply silent. They don't dare say, no. The reason blacks and Hispanics don't advance is because of their own limitations and because of their own inability to plan ahead. The United States is a remarkably unracist, anti-racist country. So the inability to make this point means that all white people are constantly on the defensive. even Republicans, because they will not stand up and say, no, this country is not the least bit racist. The reason you people are not getting ahead is not our fault, it's your fault. And until Americans are prepared to say that, they will constantly be making excuses for things, unable to defend their own interests. And so that's why the question you raise is a very important one. Are even the Republicans any good for white people in the United States or around the world? And the answer is no, they are not any good, but they are less bad.
Well, like most polarizing figures that you disagree with, they speak some truth. Some of the things that he said were actually true. Some of our problems in Black America are self-inflicted. But I want to focus on two things that he brought up that are interwoven in the self-inflicted problems that we have. He referenced the dispossession of white people, meaning that white people are not in control of America like they were during the slavery days. So they miss that. All of them do. Well, many of them do. And the reason that is a misnomer is because America never belonged to white people in the first place. There were people already living here. Civilizations were already established when white people came here. He begins with an incorrect premise because white people are not dispossessed in America. They dispossessed the people who were here when they got here. So I'm disagreeing with the declarative statement that white people are dispossessed. The second thing he said was that America was supposed to be an outpost of Western civilization. And I call foul on that too, because Western civilization is nothing more than Europeans going around the world conquering other people with guns and taking their culture. I took the liberty of getting an official definition of Western civilization. Western civilization refers to the art, literature, culture, and enduring ideas that emerged from the Eastern Mediterranean basin in the centuries before the Common Era, developed through the Middle Ages, and took modern shape after the Renaissance. It includes diverse heritages of social norms, ethical values, traditional customs, belief systems, political systems, artifacts, and technologies of the Western world. The roots of Western civilization lie in the civilizations of ancient Greece and Rome, which themselves built on foundations laid in ancient Egypt and Mesopotamia. So Western civilization has nothing to do with Western countries, also known as European countries. So when you talk about Roman and Greek civilizations, those civilizations base their foundations on Egypt, Egyptian civilization, ancient Egypt, which was a black African civilization. They can fight it all they want, but it was an ancient African civilization. So Western civilization is a farce. But because America doesn't teach history properly, America does not properly teach her own history. Most people, including the majority of Americans, and I'm talking about white Americans now, do not know American history. Black Americans probably know more about the history of this country than anybody. And the immigrants who are coming in here now, crowding the country, don't care about American history. And I think I'm right about that. They care about getting here and trying to live the non-existent American dream. So it's probably going to be incumbent upon black Americans to live the truth, tell the truth, and help this country recover from the disaster that it is headed towards. So Tariq Nasheed sponsored or organized a reparations rally in Washington, D.C. this weekend. And he spoke to black people were gathered there, and he gave some facts, some of which we have talked about on this channel. It is really important that we keep track of our own history and to keep the history of America, learn as much as we can about the history of this country, and don't be intimidated by the changes that are coming. Because we are the keepers of the culture. We are the builders of this empire. And so even though other people want to claim that they built it, whoever did work built the empire. So even though they're trying to turn White Boy Summer into something about white supremacy, we still have to remember our history, and that is what I'm calling Black Power. And I'm going to let you listen to the speech that Tariq Nasheed gave.
No disrespect, but we kept in the door for all of these people to be totally ungrateful when it comes to us, because people feel like anything we get, they have to get, and that's not what it is. Another thing people try to say is, well, how about instead of going after the government, just go after individual entities and institutions that had you enslaved? Here's the problem. All of the institutions in America are based on anti-black racism. I want y'all to really understand that, all of them. The medical industry was based on anti-black racism. They were experimenting on us. The banking system, they were putting in money to enslave us. The railroad system, we were doing the railroad system. We had to build the initial railroad systems. You understand? The insurance companies, they were insuring enslaved black people. Wall Street were trading stocks and bonds. We were the stocks and bonds. All of these institutions, the entertainment industry, the first form of entertainment in America were minstrel shows. The first blockbuster movie was A Birth of a Nation. And the music industry, all of these things were based on exploitive anti-black racism, even now. And then they try to say, well, we have to have a lot of this minstrelly, all of this minstrel show nonsense and buffoonery in the music and in the movies, because if we put something positive out there, oh, you black folks don't like that. Liar. You like cooning and buffooning. That's what you guys like. Liar. Family, we just released a movie called Microphone Check. Yeah! How many of y'all saw Microphone Check? Yeah! This is a movie we did, grassroots, have an intelligent conversation talking about foundational black American culture. We were selling out theaters here in DC and all over the country. They didn't tune in to see buffoonery and shucking and jiving. They wanted to hear truth to power. You're here today not for buffoonery and shucking and jiving. You're here for truth to power. Are you here for truth to power? Yeah. Are you here for truth to power? Yeah, yeah. Give yourselves a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
So, whether you agree with Tariq Nasheed or not, he speaks the truth when he's talking about the history of America. This is our history, and our power is in knowing who we are and knowing our history. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening. Let me know what you think about the video. Have a great evening.